everyone and welcome back to another video. So today I am filming another sit down video. I know there's been a few recently, but because I've kind of not been feeling 100% and then we've had a couple of issues that I will go into throughout the Q&A, I just wanted to kind of sit down and film kind of a collective of the last kind of couple of months. For those of you that didn't kind of follow my Instagram or anything, I have had pneumonia throughout all of December, so I was really quite poorly. So this is kind of only the second or third video I've been able to sit down, film and edit all the way through. So let's see how we get on with this today. Just taken off my pool and pheasant quarter zip. I love that jumper and you will be seeing plenty more of it in the upcoming video, but it's a bit warm in here today, so I wanted to just kind of kick it off so I could sit and really talk to you guys. So the first question really I've had is what's going on with uni, like what's your situation, because I don't really always talk about uni as much as I used to on my channel, so I thought I'd just kind of round everything up for you. So many of you will know that in October of 2022 I stopped riding with the University Riding Club. Completely left the yard. I don't talk about that at all. That's a whole other kettle of fish. But with regards to actual uni and my degree, I'm currently undertaking my final placement. So what happened basically was as I got into my third year, I had a bit of a mental breakdown and I took a gap year in my third year because that's something that you can do. It's called extenuating circumstances and a leave of absence. So I did return back this year. I'm currently doing a lot of paperwork for placement. I've printed out, I think it was an 81-page document this week. So yeah, you can imagine there's a lot going on in that sense. But my placement's amazing. I work with an explorer unit. I definitely want to make some scouting content for here because I think there's definitely a lack of awareness of some of the things that we guys can get up to. So yeah, I actually love my explorers. They're a fantastic bunch. It does make me feel incredibly old though. The ones who were born in like 2006, 2008. Who are all there like, oh, 2001 is so long ago, and I'm there like, I'm not that old. But they make me smile, and I'm really looking forward to finishing my placement with them. I'm there all the way through until the summer as a minimum, and I'm looking at going to the summer camps with them. And to be honest, I'm probably going to stay and be a leader because I do genuinely love working with young people, and Scouts has been a perfect opportunity for that. I was hoping to do the eco-emotional course. Again, the plan was to do it this year. But at the moment, I just don't have the funds to do it. It's something I definitely want to do in the future. It's probably going to go onto next year's to-do list, where I might have some more available pennies to do that. Obviously, this year, my key focus is quiz and getting him right. So all of my money is currently being saved up towards that. I have made a couple of investments that I will talk about in a moment. But yeah, no, basically getting quiz right is my kind of goal. But I've had to not let uni get in the way or let him get in the way of uni. And that sounds really odd, and it is, you know, there's a lot going on. We have one of those calendars, like family calendars with the 4 columns, so that I can vaguely keep track of life because it's chaotic, it's carnage, and yeah, no, I definitely stress myself out a lot. But hopefully this degree will be worth it, and I'll have my degree in primary education studies instead of primary education with QTS at the end of it, because I'm now not doing QTS placement, it's just a standard placement, but it'll be so worth it for me in the end. So that's kind of everything that's going on with uni. I didn't join any clubs this year, mainly because I work 9/6s in Seaham, which is like, well, it's a 15-minute bus ride. So I'm not home until like between 6:30 and 7:30, depending on like what happens and if I've got anything after work kind of thing. So yeah, no, it wasn't viable this year. So yeah, I guess that's kind of sad. I do miss it. I'm going to try and book myself some riding lessons, maybe one weekend, a different riding school, and just kind of test my toe in the water, I guess. But life's life and things happen, and I'm much happier now, so that's uni. So a couple of people have actually asked recently how quiz is getting on and what's the plan, as I originally said that the plan had been to get him X-rayed in January, and it's now the end of January. So we decided against that in the end, mainly because my vet and my backup vet were both due babies in January, which kind of meant that it wasn't suitable for them to be X-raying and trotting up 17-hand X-ray sources. I only just about got them to come out and do vaccines, and that was in December. So yeah, it's not quite gone plain sailing or smooth sailing. So we are currently waiting for the ground to dry up enough to be able to drive a 4x4 onto the land to put up x-ray plates, because at the moment it's just not viable. The ground is trash, to be completely honest. It's wet, it's just, yeah, it's not great, and we're struggling to get anything up without it just churning. Like the tractor struggles, so I'm not risking a 4x4, especially not one with thousands and thousands of pounds of equipment on it. So basically the plan is wait for the ground to dry up so it's safe to trot him up. Once it is safe to trot him up and get the x-ray machine onto the yard, the plan is that he'll have his x-rays, he will be nerve blocked, we'll see if the issues are in his legs basically, or if it's, you know, somewhere else, and we will just start from the bottom and work our way up. He will be having all of his legs x-rayed, he'll be having his back x-rayed, he'll be having his neck x-rayed, and the reason he's having his neck x-rayed as well, A, because if I'm forking out that money to have him x-rayed, why not? And secondly, because anyone who has seen Quiz will be, like, in person, it shows more than in pictures. He's like a good 80% neck, so I'd rather be safe than sorry at this point. His neck is ridiculously long. He wears a 6'3" rug, but he's 17 hands, and that's because most of his, like, build is in his neck. He's got a ridiculous giraffe neck, and I tell him this regularly. He does get referred to as my giraffe Raff a lot, and he's like, I'm not a giraffe, mum, and then throws his head all the way up and I try and put like his bridle on, I'm like, you're a giraffe. So yeah, that's currently the plan with him. Until then, we are working holistically kind of thing. He's doing all his old osteopath kind of things, hoping to get an appointment with her in the next couple of weeks. Not 100% sure how that's going to work as well, because again, no one wants to come onto a yard that's ankle deep mud. Yeah, so we're currently working on getting Quiz to come away from the herds for a short period of time for something like an appointment like that. He's currently being treated for mud fever as well, so I wash his legs down in warm water because he is a princess, and then I'm treating that at the moment. He gets a lot of filter back, and the Netex 7-day mud away spray thing, and that's currently how we're trying to do with that. Again, hoping once that clears up he'll be sounder, which will make everything else easier, because yeah, no, honestly, this horse. So after that, again, we're looking at possibly getting him a chiropractor. That's something else that was advised to us by some other ex-ROR racing like owners. I don't generally post about it in their groups because they are vultures. However, I do kind of lurk and read the comments of other people's posts and things. I've spoken to a couple of people on Instagram who have horses who display very similar symptoms to him. So yeah, we're looking at a chiropractor. Obviously that would have to be in like done with consent of our vet, as no chiropractor will treat a horse without consent of the vet, so there's that. And then yeah, we're kind of just seeing where we go from there. We're looking at adding nettle to his feed, and possibly boswellia and karma, just to try and see how we can herbally like help him. He does still get his massages with his massage pad. He doesn't get them as often as he used to, and purely because taking the pad to the yard and back is obviously a bit of a nightmare if I'm not going with my mum, and it is a 30-minute cycle, so like trying to convince him to stand still for 30 minutes it's difficult. He's not bothered by a hay net because he has, you know, whole bales to eat in the field, and there's only so much feed I can kind of put in a bowl to make him stand still. So we will get there. I'm looking into a couple of different technologies to kind of help in that regards. One option is the beamer, one option is the, what's it called? The Equine something or other. I'm not a huge fan of the idea of the is it the Equestrian, the magnetic bands? They don't make me kind of go, oh, I want to try that straight away. Like, they're just not quite the vibe I'm going for at the minute. I know a lot of people have good reviews, but having spoken to my vet and things, we're not sure that's the right route for us. But yeah, we're kind of hoping to work with things that will improve his cardiovascular system. As I say, we're looking at supplements like nettle. I hear mint is good to encourage him to eat, as well as helps with digestion. But yeah, I'm currently having a think and working with a couple of different people in regards to that. So yeah, there's a lot going on with Quiz, but he's doing really well. He's happy, he's holding his weight. I will try and get a picture of him without a rug on at some point, but him this year compared to him last year, when he supposedly had the exact same conditions, completely different horse. He's so much happier and he's holding his weight so much better. He's not as scatty, he's not as ribby, he's just happy. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with him. So that, again, we're hoping to get him weighed, but again, I can't do that until the ground clears up. So it's kind of much of a muchness at the moment. It's a lot of but winter in response to why haven't you done this, why haven't you done that, because the ground's horrific. I will try and include a clip of the gateway the other day between where the stables are and what the field is, and if I've got one, I'll include a clip of the gateway to like in and out of the field, because that's, yeah, it's just been very damp, let's put it that way. I feel like the elephant in the room is what's going on with the rebrand Jade. So you may have noticed all of my accounts have changed from J Moore Equestrian to Jade's Equestrian Life. So there's a variety of reasons for this. One, me and Jake got engaged in November, so you know, I did consider that if we were to get married like anytime soon, or even like, you know, next year, the year after, that I would at some point have to change all of my account names because Moore would no longer be my surname. And Jake's account is JakeManEQ, and I was like, well, Jake Man, like that's going to be really confusing for people, so I decided I wanted to do something different. So I went with Jade's Equestrian Life. Jade's obviously mine, just shows you that it's me. Equestrian, kind of remaining from the previous name, but also showing you that there's horses and other kind of equestrian related topics kind of being involved. And then Life, A, to show you that it's my life and that this is kind of the story that you're going to be seeing. And secondly, because I do a lot of lifestyle posts. If you don't know me, I love country and equestrian fashion. I love attending events. I love supporting small businesses. A lot of my content, well, let me just tell you, my content pillars, the things that I focus my energy around are supporting small businesses, life with disabilities, life with RORs, and dressage. So that's kind of the core content on my pages. So I thought that it was important that kind of that was reflected in the new name. So there is a lot of new branding coming along in the background. I am working on a new logo. I've got it drawn out on paper. I just need to get someone to digitalize it for me. And I am getting a new coat and a new gilet, which I'm very excited about. I can't wait to share with you all. As always, that's being done by Isla White Embroidery by the lovely Hayley. And yeah, no, I 100% recommend her. As usual, I will link her Facebook page down below because I wouldn't trust anyone else with my embroidery. She's phenomenal. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. When that's ready, I will obviously explain to you what my new logo is, the different parts of it. But for now, yeah, I've gone with a bit of a rebrand. I'm having a bit of a shuffle. I'm still not 100% sure where I'm going with like colour themes and stuff because my new coat is purple, purely because 10-year-old Jade had a purple coat and it was made her the happiest girl in the whole wide world. I then got a blue coat with Taz's colours on, just because I liked the baby blue at the time, and I kind of always wanted a purple coat. Since then I've had two royal blue ones and I do love them, they're gorgeous, and they've got River and Bee's full show names on the back, and they say supported by Equine. Like, they're lovely coats, but they weren't quite what I wanted anymore. I wanted a nice short fitted coat for when I ride and when I'm at events that kind of shows everyone who I am and what I'm about. So I'm really looking forward to that arriving, and I can't wait to share that with you. So the next thing that people have been asking about has been Willow and what happened there. So I had Willow, a gorgeous 15-2 ex-racehorse, on loan over the winter. She is an absolute gem and I wish her all the best with her owner. But unfortunately we just didn't quite click as a pair, and then I got very poorly in December. I had pneumonia, I lost a lot of weight and a lot of muscle tone. And I've just not been very strong since, so I've been building that back up gently with some exercises. I do a lot of at the desk exercises because I spend 8 to 10 hours a day at a desk, which is not great if you're trying to fit in like a gym routine, plus horses, plus food shopping and cooking and content creation and blogging and vlogging and all that other kind of stuff that I do on a daily basis. So yeah, I started doing a lot of exercises and I'm building my strength up, but Willow was just too strong for me. We'd had a couple of disagreements where she was just taking the mick with me, and then we went to every other day turnout, which just kind of made her a lot fizzier, which just wasn't really great for me. So we came to a mutual agreement that it was for the best. I am on the look for a part loan, but kind of finding one that's safe and sane in the northeast seems to be like gold dust. My requirements are quite simple: over 14 hands, preferably over 14 too, ideally under 16 hands because I'm not big, you know. I'm 5'6", 5'7", yeah, 5'7", but I'm 50 kilos soaking wet in hand boots. You know, there's not a lot of me, never has been. I've never been a particularly heavy rider. I'm very light in my hands and I need something that's going to respect that. At the moment, I seem to be getting offered 12-hand cobs, a lot, and I'm all legs, so that doesn't really work, unfortunately. My feet do drag on the ground, so I will include a picture on one of these sides actually of me riding one of the riding school ponies when I was probably 14 in that picture, and that's an 11-2 well section. See that, section A or section B, and basically it had been trying to deck children all day, so they asked me to get on it, and I look ridiculous there, and I'm like a good 2 inches taller at this point, so it's just not suitable for myself these days. So I am kind of looking down that route, but at the same time I'm trying to remain positive that I will have my Quiz to ride very, very soon. So yeah, we're waiting on a couple of things for Quiz before he will be rideable for sure, but yeah, no, unfortunately it's just not quite the right time. So you may have seen on my Instagram stories recently that I've started offering videography sessions. That is because I'm in the process of upgrading my kit. So for those of you who don't know, I generally speaking film on my phone, and then I have a Canon 40D, a Canon 400D and a Canon 350D. I have a thing for Canon cameras, as you can tell. And yeah, I love my Canons and I love my photography, but I wanted to expand into videography, so that I can improve the content that I create as an influencer, as a content creator, and then as a social media marketing consultant. You know, I want to be able to provide my clients with the very best services. So yes, I am in the process of upgrading that, which is one of the investments I've just mentioned. So yeah, that's going to be not a lot of money, I'll be honest. I buy all my cameras secondhand because it feels right to do it that way. One, it means I can get a feel for a camera and see if it's right for me. Two, they're usually a whole lot cheaper, and three, it saves them going in the bin. A huge issue with technology is when people are done with it, it goes in a cupboard for 5, 6, 10 years, and then when they're bored of it, it goes in the bin. So I like the fact that by buying secondhand, you're giving that camera a new lease of life. So that's really important to me. I've actually bought my Canon 40D secondhand from a, what's it called? Is it MPB? I think is the website. I'll link it down below for you, but it's amazing. It's my favourite camera. It cost me under £100, and it's honestly been the best little investment. I love it to pieces. It's definitely slightly slower these days, but again, that's something I will consider upgrading in the future. But with the National Equine Show coming up, a videography camera was definitely on the to buy list, and yeah, I will be putting some birthday and Christmas money towards that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I have had quite a few kind of DMs recently about sponsorships and brand ambassadors, so I wanted to kind of quickly pop on and mention. I do want to film like content that's specific to that, like a couple of videos, like how I got my brand partnerships, how I got gifted products and things like that. But if I'm completely honest, I winged it. It's going to be a very short video. I sent emails, I had good photos, and I worked with an amazing photographer. Shout out to Colleen, you're an absolute gem. I will link her Instagram and her website and her Facebook all below because I love you, gal. You're an absolute lifesaver. To be completely honest. But yeah, no, people ask me a lot, like, how do you get gifted products? How do you do things like this? And a lot of the time it's I'm authentically me. Like, that's one thing I will always guarantee you on this channel is, like, without, breaking it from being PG, there's no dog poop. It is. Anything that goes, like, through my brain kind of comes out of my mouth. I have very little filter. In fact, I have to be really careful when I'm filming to not swear, because, again, no filter. Something I'm working on, let's put it that way. But yeah, I'm very honest, I'm quite brutal. Some people say brutal, some people say northern. I believe it's the same thing these days. And when I say I'm going to test something, it gets put to its paces. I've got 2 ex-racers who, well, yeah, I will show you the state of Quiz's rug at some point. So I have filmed and not yet edited or posted a GS equestrian haul where I bought Quiz this rug. And it's beautiful. It's a gorgeous purple rug. And I've got some nice pictures of him in it, and it's lovely. It's wonderful. If you look at it now, it's got that many holes in that I dread the thought of sending it off to be repaired in the spring. But he's in a 50 gram at the moment, and he's warm in a 50 gram, so I don't really have any other rugs that I can put him in to have that one sent off to be repaired, so he kind of just has to suck up the fact that he play fights and his rug got trashed because of it. So yeah, that's kind of one of those things. I have previously been gifted a rug, that's River's 50 gram. Love that rug to pieces. Again, that needs to go in for repairs this year because the inside lining is finally gone, but that rug's like 2-3 years old now. I want to say 2. But again, it has been used and abused. He lives in a 50-gram old spring, so that needs to go off for repairs at long last. And if I washed my rugs more often, they'd probably be in better condition, but I don't have my own washing machine here. It's kind of communal laundry, so I can't bring them home and wash them like I would back at my mum's. And when I was at my dad's, my sister is horrifically allergic to horses, so I couldn't wash anything horsey in their washing machine, so it's just kind of never worked out. And I can't wait to have my own washing machine. Just don't tell Jake. So yeah, kind of in regards to how I got gifted things, a lot of the time it was through talking to brands, being honest, being myself, creating UGC content with items I bought, being cheeky, sending that DM, sending that email, mainly email, talking to people at shows. I love networking at shows. That's how I got my dip. I love my sea monster to pieces. And then they very kindly reached out and offered to send me a second one so that Jake could have my navy one because he'd been on my petrol blue one because he'd been wearing it and we needed to, basically. I do adore them. I am really quite desperate to get my hands on the new and improved light grey in the Hydro range. It looks gorgeous, so we shall see. But yeah, I will definitely do some kind of specific content on this because I feel like I'm a bit rambly today because I'm just doing a Q&A, and I definitely feel like once I get talking on something I can ramble for ages, and future Jade who wants to edit this is going to be sat there with her headphones and going, why, because yeah, sorry. So that's kind of that for kind of sponsorships for now, but again, if you don't already, you can follow my social media marketing and management social media account. That's at the stable discourse, the underscore stable underscore discourse. I'll put it down here. I'll link it down below. But yeah, I love what I do, and I'm definitely looking for more freelance customers. So if social media management, marketing or consultancy, something like that is really something you would be interested in, get in touch. I offer photography, videography, content creation, content analysis, kind of all those different things. And yeah, I love what I do. So I guess something else that's kind of popped up either in like comments or conversation, DMs, things like that, is kind of what are my goals for 2024. Now I don't have a loan at the moment. As usual, get quiz sound. That is going to be the forefront of my goals, kind of, I think, until he is sound, and then it's going to be keep quiz sound. So that's kind of top of the list. That's not a surprise to anyone. Next down is book some lessons, do some riding. I don't really mind if it's pony pinching from friends, riding school lessons. I would love to compete dressage again. I am genuinely looking at the Dressage and Go run by another local riding school. That's an option because I really want to get back in the whiteboards. I miss it. It gave me something to work towards. It gave me the discipline that I lack as someone with, you know, potentially undiagnosed ADHD. That's something we're still working on. I would love to say that's on this year's goal list. It's not. That's on next year's goal list because of the 18 to 24 month wait list that I was put on last year. So we shall see. My other goal is to actually complete another round of therapy. This time I'm going in for something called cognitive analytical therapy, which is something I haven't really talked about on here. Previously I've done cognitive behavioural therapy, CBT, to help with my mental health. I think it's something really, really important that we, you know, focus on and look after as much as we look after our physical health. I'm one of those people where when my physical health is failing me, my mental health then struggles, because obviously it's very frustrating being in a body where your brain wants to do all of these things and your body kind of can't physically do them anymore. I get a lot of fatigue and a lot of brain fog. I'm a really, really forgetful person. So yeah, I'm hoping that another round of a different therapy is going to really help. I'm trying to do a lot more saving. Obviously I'm not going to give you like the actual figures of what I'm trying to save this year, but a huge part of this year is to save. Actually this month I hit one of my saving goals from last year. It was to put a certain amount away into my lifetime ISA, which is kind of like a help to buy kind of account. And yeah, like that was a huge thing for me because I've always been terrible with money. So knowing that I was able to save up that money to then put it into that kind of saving system was really kind of rewarding for me. And again, a lot of that wouldn't be possible if I, you know, didn't work a 40+ hour week, if Jake didn't work much more than that, and if I didn't do all of the other things on the side. So when I sell clothes on Vinted, that money all goes into a pot. At the moment it's all going towards quizzes, rehab costs generally. Previously it was going towards I was getting this place, the deposit here, And obviously towards Christmas it went towards like Christmas bits and bobs. It's why we were able to have such a fabulous Christmas. Which if you haven't already, I did do a what I got for Christmas kind of video. Again, it wasn't one of those where I was trying to brag. I was just genuinely over the moon with how thoughtful people were this year. So yeah, I had a fabulous time. And the other thing is, my other kind of goal is I want to attend more events again. So if you followed this channel for a while, you will know I used to attend loads of events. Like, it was my highlight of the year. Hoys, Your Horse Live, Royal International, London, you name it, I was there. I loved it. I lived and breathed for trade shows. Now, as I'm looking at transitioning out of a 40-hour week again, I'm going back into freelance work, just because my mental health and my physical health cannot hack sitting in a chair for 40.25 hours a week, just mind-numbingly dialing. It's just not working for me. I am looking at going back to more freelance work, and I am desperate to attend more events again, hence why I've bought a new video camera. Well, I'm in the process of. By the time this video goes live, I will have bought though, because, you know, behind the scenes. So yeah, the next kind of thing for me really is to try and book in more events. I've got the National Equine Show coming up in March, which is a highlight of the year for me. I know I was doing one previously, but it was fantastic. We've booked to stay in a hotel the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which means we can get up kind of slightly later on the Monday and then get the train home. Works so much better for us. And it also means we can be there all day Sunday, which I'm so excited about generally. So yeah, the National Equine Show is definitely on the list. Hoys will 100% be on the list. There'll be kind of no obligation, no kind of ifs or buts. I love Hoys. I desperately want to go back this year. And we're not 100% sure on London, but I would really like to go to London again. It's my favourite show, like, of all time. I've been a couple of times now, and well, I think I've been 3 times now. I just love it. Like, there is nothing, like, you can't beat London for me. It's just magical. I would love to go back to Your Horse Live, possibly with Annalie again. That was so much fun. We really did enjoy that. But again, we'll see. Again, I keep saying again, but it very much depends on time, money, and the horses, and transport, because obviously I don't drive, which makes getting to events quite difficult. Having to rely on public transport is a pain in the butt. Anything at the NEC isn't too bad, because obviously the trains stop at Birmingham International, and you apparently, according to them, because I have emailed to double check, you just walk across the bridgey thing. Fingers crossed for me, guys, please, because we all know I'm not great with that. So yeah, I think that's most of my goals for the year. I mean, the silly ones at the bottom are, I would love to own a pair of Regina boots by the end of the year. The Fairfax and Favour ones in either the chocolate brown, the classic tan, or even the emerald greeny colour. Again, I'd probably pick them up second hand if I did buy them, because yeah, I'm a small-time content creator. I don't have that kind of funds. But yeah, no, I love them, and I've been obsessed with them for years, and that's kind of one of those big things that I'm saving up for after Quiz gets right and he gets sound. That would be kind of one of those things that I treat myself with afterwards, so yeah. And then other things, kind of, there's a couple of collabs that I would really like to do. There's some brands who are just, yeah, absolutely fantastic, but I'm not going to sit here on, you know, YouTube and be like, I want to work with X, Y, and Z, because I don't want to put the pressure on those kind of brands. And I also sometimes get a lot of self-doubt. So I struggle when I do reach out to those brands. I don't always sell myself the best. And I'm 100% aware of that, and something I am working on this year is to kind of be more confident in myself and my ability. So yeah, I feel like I've rambled on forever about my goals this year. So yeah, I've got goals, I'm working towards them. And I feel like let's go with one last question, and that is, how are you? Everyone keeps just asking how I am, because I get really bad seasonal depression every year. You'll notice my content just dips. It'll reappear in March, and I'll be much happier, and I'll be probably a little bit rosier because I'll have been out in the sun, and I'll just be in a better mood overall. So I'm holding up all right. I feel like it's always important to check in and let everyone know kind of that I'm still here and I'm still trying my best. And, you know, my best isn't perfect. I've got a lot on with uni and with my Explorer unit and with work, and, you know, 2 injury prone arthritic, well, one's arthritic and one's just Quiz, thoroughbreds. So yeah, life's a bit chaotic, and we're getting there. Getting there slowly but surely. So yeah, I hopefully will be back with some more regular content soon, especially here on YouTube. I've got so many things I want to film. I just need the spoons to be able to actually film it and sit down and edit it, because I've got so much old footage that I could go through and edit, and I just haven't, because I'm absolutely exhausted, I'll be honest. So yeah, fingers crossed, kind of things are starting to pick up. But yeah, I'm okay. I mean, I'm not sure how much you can see, but there's some pictures of B just up here on the fridge, and that's a fridge magnet of Jake's, and then she's up on top of the fridge in her little casket. You know, there are days where I miss her. There are days where I really struggle. You know, there are days where I'm still quite traumatized by the day that she died. So peaks and troughs. Take it as it is. You know, having River struggling with his arthritis and Quiz being, you know, having issues with lameness generally and not having a horse to ride is difficult. And I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I love not having any horses to ride and just owning horses and just having unridden horses is the best thing ever, because it's not. And, you know, there are days where I open social media and everyone's doing everything that I want to be doing, and I feel incredibly jealous. And I know that all those emotions are completely natural. And I do have to take myself back a step and go, no, you can be proud of what your friends are achieving. You know, you can be happy for them and still be disappointed that you're not doing it too. Your time will come, things will improve. So yeah, we are working through that, and I look forward to the future. You know, I'm very much trying to spend more time with my boys, just being the boys, spend more time with my friends, you know, trying to ride a little bit more where possible, but I've just accepted that my content's not always going to be dressage-y. It's not always going to be the same. And I've got some really exciting things coming up that I can't wait to share with you all. So hopefully you'll get to see a lot more of Smiley Jade very, very soon. So let's round that all up. That felt a little bit waffly, and I do not look forward to trying to edit through it all and make it coherent. But thank you for getting this far, and if you have, please don't forget to like, comment or subscribe down below. Maybe check out one of my other social media platforms. I am running a fundraiser towards Quiz's surgeries and kind of rehabilitation costs. There is a raffle. There is going to be guess the name of the horse, guess the name of the unicorn, and guess the name of the bunny. That one's going towards Easter because the prizes are more Easter related. But yeah, things are getting there, and I'm really looking forward to creating more content. Tuesdays are going to be my new filming day for sit-downy videos, so I'm hoping kind of that things are gonna get there slowly but surely. So thank you for taking the time to sit through this video today, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Bye for now.